Hello. Good morning, everyone in Taiwan, and a good evening for people who joining us from New York. I guess people can hear me well. Okay, my name is Jay Lee. I'm the Vice President of the YWCA of Taiwan. I'm also the moderator of today's session. Let me give you a brief introduction of our organization. YWCA in Taiwan was established in 1949, and now we have 19 branches office. We have 19 branch offices across Taiwan. We provide services to women of all different age groups. To name a few, we nurture young women so that they can become leaders to make changes in the future. We support young mothers by providing quality preschool educations for their children. We also have a big team of social workers to look after women in need. Among the women we serve, marriage migrants present a very unique group in Taiwan. Since the 1980s, marriage immigrants began arriving in Taiwan. Over the past 40 years, approximately 600,000 marriage immigrants have settled in Taiwan, accounting for about 2.6% of Taiwan's population. Most marriage immigrants are women. In the early years, many came to Taiwan through marriage agencies, but in recent years, many of them met their partners through introduction by their relatives and friends, work relationships, or online dating. Marriage immigrants face numerous challenges in living in Taiwan. In 2024, we have an opportunity to take on a research project funded by the National Immigration Agency. The subject of this research is job satisfaction and the well-being of the marriage migrants in Taiwan. The purpose of this project is to identify areas of concerns and provide recommendations for the government. Now, let me introduce to you the project team here. We have Professor Liu Meijing, who chairs this project, and she's the professor from Graduate Institute of Labor Research in the National Zhengzhi University. And we also have Professor Xu Bichun, who co-chairs this project, and she's a professor at Department of Social Welfare at Chinese Cultural Universities in Taiwan. And we also have assistant professor Liu Yuxue is the researcher for this project, assistant professor at the China Medical University. And we have Kelly Lai. She's a YWCA project manager and who also serves as an assistant researchers for this project. For today's presentations, we include 3 sessions. The first one was to talk about the well-being of the marriage migrants in Taiwan. In the second session, we talk about job satisfaction. And the third session, we will give you an idea about the service the YWCA in Taiwan provide for the marriage migrants. We are operating some care centers for marriage migrants. So without further ado, let's just start from the first part of our presentation. For today's presentation, they are all pre-recorded, but at the end of this presentation, we will have a live Q&A sessions. So let's start from the first part of the presentation.
Hello everyone, it's great to see you all here through internet. It's my honor and privilege to give a report based on our research sponsored by Immigration Bureau in 2024. The research concerns about the issue, are marriage migrants happy with their life in Taiwan? This issue is important for marriage migrants. Think about the situation. They are so brave to decide to marry, and the marriage will take them far away from home and to a new country where the language, custom, people are foreign to them. In order to get ease with the new environment, it takes a whole lot conditions in place. A loving and supportive spouse who cares about her situation and hardship. Family members can understand her difficulties and are willing to lend hands to her and give her enough trust, not treating her as an inferior and abusing her in every possible way. Marriage migrants will never know what comes across her before she set her feet on the new land. Therefore, we want to know what are major factors that have great influence on how they feel living here. But I would like to give a snapshot of the study as to who are the research team and the method we adopt, as shown in the following 2 pages. This report is based on a research sponsored, just as I said, by Immigration Bureau in 2024, and the research team is Young Women Christian Association, YWCA of with 3 professors from different universities, and the research period is from January 1st to December, the end of the December 2024. And the research method we adopt is in-depth interview. We have 20 marriage migrants as our interviewees. They live in Taipei City, New Taipei City, Taoyuan City, Hsinchu City, Zhanghua City, Kaohsiung City, and Hualien County. All lived in Taiwan for more than 10 years, have children 1 to 3. It doesn't matter whether they are naturalized or not, stay married or not. As to the issue of research ethics, we have obtained a research ethics certificate from National Zhenzi University, have obtained a formal agreement and consent form signed by interviewees. And the interview was conducted from late May to July. And places of interview was held at organizations that used to provide services to marriage migrants who feel comfortable as well as safe. And I also want to give the profile of marriage migrants in Taiwan so that you can get some idea about marriage migrants' situation. We have over 600,000 marriage migrants by the end of 2024, and the year 2003 has the highest number of marriage migrants entering into Taiwan, and the number slows down afterwards. As to the nationalities, marriage migrants from China is the largest group, followed by Vietnam, Indonesia, and Philippines. And those marriage migrants of the recent cohorts have more years of education and less from marriage brokers, which is good. However, marriage migrants were still highly concentrated in manual, semi-skilled jobs, thus low income and lack of security leave them vulnerable and precarious in labor market. And as to the education doesn't help in landing a good job, mainly because marriage migrants have language obstacles, which is the key to find a good job and better adaptation in Taiwan. Okay. Since our study focuses on marriage migrants' well-being, so we would want to know what the literature says on these topics. Our literature review shows that marriage migrants' life well-being are mainly related to their effective acculturation. Strategies have great impacts on the adaptation and inclusion in host countries. John Barry differentiates 4 types of strategies, naming integration, assimilation, separation, and marginalization. Okay. And those marriage migrants who adopt strategies of integration and assimilation have a better life, well-being. Of course, individual factors such as age, sex, education, migration motivation, expectation, and personality, or cross-cultural experiences. And country factors such as attitude, support of host countries, political context, economic situation, and demographic causes of origin country have exerted impacts on marriage migrants' acculturation. Besides, economic factors such as occupation, income, and human capital and non-economic factors such as age, education, health, job satisfaction, religious belief, marriage channel, spouses, SES, family and financial situation, living environment, community facilities also count. Due to time constraint, I would like to pick up some important findings. First of all, marriage migrants with full-time job have higher job satisfaction, thus better social capital, social relationships, better health, higher degree of self-acceptance and autonomy, which contribute to higher life well-being. However, other studies have opposite finding. That is, employment does not always help because marriage migrants experience employment discrimination and work-life conflicts. The longer the stay, the less happy due to more adverse experience and obstacles. Marriage quality and family relations, such as with their children and in-laws, and traditional gender role all have great impacts on marriage migrants' well-being. And I would like to mention the European Social Survey because this survey suggests that the life satisfaction experience of the second generation does not differ from marriage migrants of the first generation due to discrimination that still negatively influence their life chances and poses as obstacles to achieve in the labor market, even to the second generation. Our research findings show that the following factors are keys to their positive well-being, specifically marriage quality, family relationship and their support, and the third one is economic and financial stress, and language proficiency and communication, and quality and job satisfaction, health, and social network and capital. Okay, let's get to the core issue. Are marriage migrants satisfied with life? According to the survey report by Immigration Bureau released in 2024, 92% of marriage migrants say they are happy with their life. This high percentage is unbelievable, for the reality they face is harsh. First of all, they are cut from family ties and friends in their home country. Secondly, they have to endure distrust of husband and family, worse still, domestic violence in the host country. Thirdly, giving birth and taking care of family members prevent them from making money, thus weakening their power in marital relationships. Besides, they work in the lower end of job market with low pay, lack of job protection, as well as promotion, and they do not have opportunity to receive on-job training and to enjoy fringe benefits. Lastly, they often face triple discrimination, such as race discrimination, gender discrimination, and caste discrimination, that in total hurt them psychologically and mentally. As a result, how can anyone feel happy when taking all these things into consideration? That's something that I still cannot figure out. As to the quality of a marriage, especially the negative side, I would point out three aspects to discuss this impact. First one is lack of intimacy. For marriage migrants, their marriage is based not on mutual understanding and intimate relationship for some period of time, but through marriage broker. Therefore, their marriage is on a quite shaky ground. Second one is lack of trust. As their marriage is not the outcome of a long-term relationship, the motive to marry is oftentimes questioned by husband and their family. Their question will be, what often comes to their mind is those marriage migrants will run away once they obtain ID card. Therefore, they are banned from going out and taking part in outside activities. Worst still, the recognition of husband and family members is the marriage migrants is purchased. Okay, they bought her through a marriage market. That means that they spend money on them just like on some goods. Therefore, there's no respect and they are treated as inferior. That's why the marital relationship is unbalanced. As to the second factor, family relation and support, since friendliness and respect are key to the life quality of marriage migrants in their daily life, because this gives them the strength to endure the hardship living in a new country with a new identity. Some of the marriage migrants are lucky to have family members who give them courage and treat them with kindness, warmth, and respect, while others are treated with suspicion, distrust, humiliation, and even violence, both verbal and physical. Those who have support from family members have much better adaptation and positive feeling of well-being and life satisfaction. With regard to language barrier, its impact, lack of language ability disadvantaged them in many areas key to their adaptation. First of all, lack of language ability will lead to misunderstanding and conflicts due to poor communication. And also it will hurt their labor rights in the job market in terms of the pay level, job promotion, and fair treatment. On top of that, lack of language ability will deprive them of access to information that is essential to address their life needs. This in turn worsens their dependency on their husbands. Lastly, if marriage migrants are not able to use local spoken language, they can hardly pass exams to obtain licenses to have a better position in job market. As to the aspect of job satisfaction, literature shows that job satisfaction contributes to life satisfaction, which is also supported by our findings. Job satisfaction is related to fair pay, good promotion, enjoyment of fringe benefits, and social protection, which in total gives one confidence in life, a sense of worthiness and control of their life, thus enhancing the level of life satisfaction. However, marriage migrants have jobs with lower pay, lack of promotion, poor social protection, which is supposed to hurt their sense of life satisfaction. But given their limited education, language ability, and expected care role, what they care most is to land a job that provides enough flexibility so that they can earn money and at the same time make balance between work and family. With regard to the issue of health, the literature also suggests that health is highly related to marriage migrants' life satisfaction. Our study also supports this finding. However, marriage migrants' health is jeopardized due to financial stress, psychological pressure, heavy care burden, and job discrimination and occupational hazards. According to findings, husbands' positive attitude and behavior and family member support can help strengthen their health. What about the impacts of social network and the social capital? Literature also indicates that the importance of a social network in marriage migrants' adaptation to new life in Taiwan. social network of home country can do nothing when they are in need, leaving them vulnerable to counter difficult times. Therefore, building new social network through actively participating in social events is urgently important. However, language barrier, lack of access to event information, and caring for family members, and also short of transportation tools, and most of all, the negative attitude of family members toward marriage migrants taking part in social events prevent them from establishing social network of their own. Lastly, economic and financial stress also has significant influence on marriage migrants' well-being, as expected. To make money is a major motive for them to come to Taiwan. However, giving birth and taking care of the family members prevent them from working outside to make money. No money, no talk, no power that leave them disadvantages and precarious in marital relation. Therefore, it is stressful to have no money in their daily life, and further to help their family of origin. Now it comes to our conclusion. As marital and family relationship, language ability, health status, job satisfaction, social network, and financial status are major contributors to the well-being of the marriage migrants. Out of the 6 major contributors, marital and family relationship, health situation, and social network have priority in policy agenda, since they are highly related to the other aspects that have impact on their life well-being. Poor marital relation is extremely harmful to health, and lack of support from family members hinders them from pursuing their life chances in the broader society, especially the job market and social participation. Since marriage migrants come along and cut from their family, friends, and associates, when they have problems, they have no one to turn to except their new instant family members in Taiwan. Therefore, to establish social connection becomes essential for them to explore life chances outside domestic field. Last but not the least is language ability. This ability is almost everything to marriage migrants. Okay, and that's all for this short report, and thank you for your listening.
Okay, thank you, Professor, for your insight information about all the factors that attribute to marriage migrants' life quality. Among all those factors, job satisfaction also plays a very important role. Next session is going to be presented by Professor Xu Bichen.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this virtual meeting. I am Bichun Xu, currently teaching at the Department of Social Welfare at Chinese Cultural University in Taiwan. The topic I would like to present is about job satisfaction of marriage migrant women in Taiwan. First, let's start by discussing why studying the job satisfaction of marriage migrant women in Taiwan is an important topic. In the era of globalization, many industrially advanced countries often become destination for people from different regions with relatively underdeveloped economic conditions. Similarly influenced by global population movements, Taiwan has experienced a rapid increase in international migration since the 1990s, including labor migration and marriage family migration. In terms of family migration, it mainly occurs through marriage and predominantly involves women. Among these women, about 19% from mainland China and Southeast Asian countries, with a smaller proportion from Japan, South Korea, and other countries. This underlines that immigrant women have become an important demographic group in Taiwan. According to 2018 New Immigrants Living Needs Survey report, about 70% of new immigrants were employed. Compared to the labor force participation rate of about 52% for general Taiwanese women, the 70% participation rate among immigrant women is significantly higher, indicating their strong motivation to work. Compared to local Taiwanese people, married migrant women are more likely to experience discrimination or unfair treatment after immigrating to Taiwan. Numerous studies indicate that after immigrants settle in a host country, their ability to find satisfactory employment and adapt to the workplace significantly impacts their overall life satisfaction. Although there are some international studies on job satisfaction among immigrant women, the studies may not fully explain the experiences of immigrant women in Taiwan. In addition, there is a lack of quantitative research specifically addressing the job satisfaction of immigrant women within Taiwan, with very few related academic papers. Therefore, conducting research on the job satisfaction of married migrant women in Taiwan is both necessary and meaningful. Using data from the 2018 survey on the living needs of new immigrants and employs in-depth interviews and focus group discussion, this study explores the job satisfaction of married migrant women in Taiwan and the factors influencing their job satisfaction. Next, I will briefly review some previous international studies on the factors relating to job satisfaction of migrant workers. A review of recent studies indicates that factors influencing migrant workers' job satisfaction include 4 dimensions: individual level factors, job characteristics, work environment, and social cultural environment. Regarding the impact of individual levels factors on the job satisfaction of migrant workers, these factors may include gender, age, educational background, cultural background, ethnicity, and the length of residence in the host country. Education is a crucial form of individual human capital. Investing in education can enhance an individual's knowledge and skills, thereby increasing job opportunities, ultimately raising wages and improving job satisfaction. However, studies have also shown that immigrants' education attainment from their home countries often fails to be effectively utilized in the host country due to challenges such as difficulties in credential recognition and non-recognition of qualifications. Married migrant women in Taiwan also face similar difficulties. Studies also indicated that the length of time immigrants reside in the host country affects their adaptation. The longer they stay, the better they adapt, which in turn increases life satisfaction. This is because over time, they gradually adapt to local cultural costumes and improve their proficiency in the local language. As their overall reputation improves, their job satisfaction also increases. The second dimension of factors in influencing migrant workers' job satisfaction is job characteristics. Previous studies have indicated that salary levels have a significant impact on job satisfaction. Professional status is another job characteristic that influences job satisfaction. Workers with higher professional status often perceive their job as important and meaningful to society, which leads to higher job satisfaction. The third dimension of factors affecting migrant workers' job satisfaction is the work environment. Various studies have indicated that whether the workplace is supportive or discriminatory has a significant impact on workers' experiences. Such support or discrimination mainly comes from two sources: employers and colleagues. If employers and colleagues treat workers kindly, their job satisfaction increases significantly. The social-cultural environment is the fourth dimension of factors that impact the job satisfaction of migrant workers. Many studies have confirmed that for migrant workers, the ability to speak the local language and having good language skills are primary conditions for adapting to life in the host country. And they are also crucial factors influencing job satisfaction. Research has also found that employers in the host countries tend to prefer hiring migrant workers with strong language skills and treat them more favorably. Furthermore, general attitudes toward immigrants in the host country also play a significant role. When the host country is more accepting of immigrants, they are more likely to integrate into the community, including the workplace. Such integration, in turn, leads to higher job satisfaction. After reviewing previous studies, I will now present our main research findings. This study finds that the key factors affecting the job satisfaction of married migrant women in Taiwan include job stability, income, and a supportive work environment. The results of quantitative research indicate that having a stable job significantly increases married migrant women's job satisfaction. However, findings from in-depth interview and focus group discussion reveal that they face various constraints, including limited Chinese language proficiency, the non-recognition of their educational qualifications from their home countries, family caregiving responsibility that restrict their working hours. In addition, discrimination against migrant women in the labor market persists, which lowers their expectation for employment. The disparity between these different sets of findings conveys an important message. The quantitative results reflect an ideal perspective. That is, migrant women still hope they can find stable employment, as it can provide a steady income, work benefits, and equal opportunities for promotion, all of which contribute to higher job satisfaction. However, the in-depth interview and focus group discussion reveal the reality. That is, they face various barriers and discrimination, forcing them to take on lower quality jobs with poor working conditions. This gap between the ideal and the reality of job satisfaction among marriage migrant women is a critical issue that future policies should address. In addition, findings in in-depth interview and focus group discussion indicate that what marriage migrant women truly seek is a job that provides immediate income and flexible working hours. Unlike local workers who often rely on the protections of the Labor Standards Act, these women do not see such guarantees as something they can expect. For them, earning money to quickly improve their financial situation or support their families back home is far more important. Quantitative analysis also show that higher income significantly increases their job satisfaction. Working multiple jobs a day and even over time is not a concern for them. Rest or vacation is not even part of the conversation. Part of the reason for this phenomenon is that these women are mostly engaged in lower-level, non-skilled or semi-skilled temporary labor jobs, typically paid by the hour or a day. As a result, labor protection regarding rest or vacation under the Labor Standards Act are largely irrelevant to their working conditions. Marriage migrant women do not ask for much, but dignity is their bottom line. They clearly express their expectation, especially those who have overcome numerous challenges to earn higher education degree in Taiwan. They simply hope to be treated with fairness and respect in the workplace. Another noteworthy finding is the impact of the education level of migrant women in their home country on their work in Taiwan. The literature indicates that educational attainment as a core component of human capital has a significant impact on job satisfaction. However, in our statistical analysis, education did not show a significant effect. This finding is of great importance because it suggests that for marriage migrant women, obtaining higher education, whether from their home countries or through further studies in Taiwan, does not seem to produce positive outcome in their jobs. Previous study has also found that higher educational attainment is associated with greater job satisfaction. However, our analysis does not support these findings. A possible explanation is that the educational qualification obtained by those women in their home countries are often not recognized in Taiwan. Additionally, their Chinese language proficiency may not be sufficient, which prevents their foreign education from contributing positively to their employment outcomes in Taiwan. Although marriage migrant women lower their expectations in response to their current realities, their aspiration naturally rise as they live longer in Taiwan and improve their Chinese language skills. However, if their circumstances remain largely unchanged. For instance, if they are still limited to lower-level labor jobs without employment security and continue to earn lower wages, it becomes impossible for them to feel satisfied with their work. Statistical analysis indicates that better Chinese proficiency or a longer stay in Taiwan is associated with a higher likelihood of job dissatisfaction if they remain in non-standard, insecure employment. This finding is indeed an important issue that policymakers should address. Finally, based on the research findings, we would like to offer some recommendations. The current design of job satisfaction section in the New Immigrant Life Needs Survey is clearly inadequate. The survey includes only one question: are you satisfied with your current job? With only two response options. One is satisfied and the other is dissatisfied. Such a design not only fails to identify which specific aspects of the job contribute to satisfaction or dissatisfaction, but also cannot capture the degree of satisfaction or dissatisfaction. In other words, a single question is not sufficient to understand the complexity of job satisfaction and its contributing factors. It is recommended that a set of questions be used to measure the job satisfaction of new immigrants more comprehensively. In addition, the New Immigrant Life Needs Survey currently only includes demographic variables and job-related characteristics for analyzing factors that affect job satisfaction, lacking variables related to the work environment. Work environment factors include variables such as organizational management style, equal treatment under regulations and policies, supportive supervisor support, colleague friendliness, workplace diversity policies, opportunities for on-the-job training, and fair promotion opportunities. It is recommended that future surveys incorporate measurements of these factors to provide a more comprehensive understanding of what influences new immigrants' job satisfaction. Immigrant women are primarily concentrated in the secondary labor market, which hinders their opportunities for upward mobility. To address this issue, in addition to expanding language courses, it is essential to innovate the types of vocational training programs offered. In the past, vocational training courses such as nail art, beauty services, baking, and food and beverage services were provided. However, due to intense market competition, operational challenges, and unstable income, these programs have proven less effective. Therefore, we recommend developing vocational training programs that target high-skill occupation in industry facing labor shortages within the mainstream job market. Such initiatives would better support immigrant women in transitioning to more sustainable and promising career paths. Finally, when designing vocational training programs for immigrant women, it is essential to consider that they often face both family caregiving responsibilities and financial pressures. Therefore, we recommend factors such as class schedules, locations, and stipends should be included in the planning process. In addition, with the promotion of gender mainstreaming in recent years, there has been increasing attention to the childcare needs of women participating in vocational training. As a result, vocational training programs should also consider providing temporary childcare services to enable these women to attend training sessions and truly benefit from the opportunities for skill development. In conclusion, job satisfaction has a significant impact on the life satisfaction of marriage migrant women. This study employs different research methods, and the results indicate that job stability, income, and a friendly work environment play crucial roles in their job satisfaction. Based on these findings, we provide some recommendations. This concludes my presentation for today. Thank you very much for your attention.
Well, thank you, Professor Bichen, for your sharing. Both professors emphasized the importance of language. However, proficient language skills, together with higher education, do not seem to promise a better job or a job with better pay. We will get back to this topic during the Q&A session. Among all the factors that affect marriage migrants' life satisfaction, establishing social connection becomes essential for them to seek supports and to explore better opportunities. Our government has established more than 200 community care centers for the marriage migrants, and most of these care centers are commissioned to nonprofit organizations to manage and to operate. In Taipei City, there are about 68,000 marriage migrants, or it's about 11% of total marriage migrants in Taiwan. There are 5 such care centers in the Taipei City, and the YWCA of Taiwan runs 2 of them. Now we have Secretary General of YWCA of Taiwan, Rachel, to give us a presentation about what we do for the marriage migrants through this care center.
Hello, everyone. I'm Rachel, the Secretary General of YWCA of Taiwan. YWCA of Taiwan has been serving women who have immigrated through marriage for almost 30 years. You just heard about our large-scale survey on the well-being and job satisfaction of new immigrants across Taiwan. Now, let's take a closer look at this real example. Our new immigrant community care center in Eastern Taipei. By focusing on actual operations, we can gain deeper insights and cross-check findings to better understand the real needs of new immigrants. YWCA of Taiwan serves new immigrants in half of Taipei City's administrative districts, including both the Western and the Eastern New Immigrant Community Care Centers. Our services include home visits, information support, assistance programs, community activities, and volunteer training. The goal is to help new immigrants integrate into Taiwanese society, provide resources, support their growth, and assist in solving challenges they may face. This report uses the Eastern Taipei New Immigrant Community Care Centers as an example, covering 3 administrative districts: Neihu, Nangang, and Songshan. According to the 2024 population statistics, the number of female new immigrants is significantly higher than that of males. The female population percentages in these districts are 83%, 87%, and 80% respectively. In this study, we aim to understand the new immigrants we serve, their experiences, needs, and suggestions. We use two research methods: quantitative surveys and qualitative research. In the quantitative survey, participants had to be new immigrants in this region who had previously received services from the community center. A total of 36 valid questionnaires were completed. Our mission was to understand how they obtained information, their reasons for participating or not participating in activities, which events left the strongest impression on them, and the impact or changes these activities brought to their lives. For this qualitative study, our interview participants include new immigrants and volunteers who have been receiving services at the center for at least 5 years. They participated in one-on-one in-depth interview. Social workers currently serving at the center took part in focus group discussions. This approach helps us gain a well-rounded understanding from different perspectives. We have a total of 3 key findings. First finding: although our study has a small sample size, it effectively reflects trends seen in large-scale data. Pink represents our study findings. Blue is from the 2018 New Immigrants Needs Survey. Orange comes from Taipei City's new immigrant population statistics. Here are the key points. 87.2% of new immigrants are women. Neihu District has the highest population among the 3 regions we studied. Around 60 to 70% of new immigrants have lived in Taiwan for over 10 years. 30% had only a junior high or a high school education before coming to Taiwan. Most women work in cleaning services or the food industry. This supports previous research findings. Due to language barriers, education levels, and family responsibilities, like caring for children or elderly parents-in-law, many new immigrants need jobs with flexible working hours. On this slide, we've added data from the 2021 Taipei City Women's Life Survey's summary report shown in green. We found that 82.4% of new immigrant women have very little social interaction. The main reasons are taking care of family and being busy with work or academic commitments. This further supports our findings that many new immigrants face challenges balancing family responsibilities, work, and education, which can limit their social engagement. Next, we want to further examine the subjective needs of three groups: new immigrants, parents and children, and the children of new immigrants. Our research highlights four key needs: learning, gaining knowledge and skills, communications, overcoming language barriers, interaction, building social connections, and relaxation, finding time for self-care and stress relief. These insights help us better understand how to support these communities effectively. The first group we examined is the new immigrants themselves. What activities do they need and want? Our findings categorize their needs into 5 key types in order: health and leisure, activities promoting well-being, personal growth and empowerment, self-improvement and flexibility, skill development, practical and vocational learning, language learning, enhancing communication abilities, family and interpersonal relationships, strengthening connections. Since all participants in this study have lived in Taiwan for over 10 years, they have already adapted to the local culture. They recognize the importance of health and leisure for overall well-being, which is why activities like health seminars, yoga, dance, and craft workshops are highly popular in service programs. One exciting discovery was the high demand for personal growth and skill development, with 91.7% interested in self-empowerment, like stress management or legal knowledge, and 88.9% are eager to learn practical things like cooking or computer skills. These findings confirm that designing service programs in this area is the right direction from meeting the needs of new immigrants. New immigrants have a strong desire to learn Chinese because it helps them to find job opportunities, support their children's education, and integrate into society. At the same time, for better family relationships, they are also eager to learn parenting skills to better guide their children and couples' communications to help build a stronger marriage. This shows their commitments to both personal growth and family harmony. Besides understanding new immigrants' needs for activities, we also looked into their thoughts on parent-child activities. Over the past few years, the field trips organized by the service center have received very positive feedback. As a result, 83.3% of participants expressed a strong desire for these trips to continue. Other popular activities that promote parent-child bonding include baking, handicrafts, parent-child reading sessions, and playing board games. These activities provide meaningful opportunities for families to connect and spend quality time together. Now, let's take a look at the types of activities these new immigrant children want to participate in. The most popular activity is handicrafts, with 58.3% showing interest. Other activities that are also highly favored, over 50%, include cooking, life skills training, and performance. These findings highlight the kinds of activities that truly engage and benefit these children. Our third key finding is the impact and the changes these programs have brought to new immigrants. A remarkable 96.4% of the participants believe these activities have positively influenced them in various ways, including learning new things, expanding social networks, changing mindset, accessing resources, improving personal expression skills, and enhancing self-awareness. Among these, learning new things, changing mindset, and self-awareness stand out as the most valuable transformations, making a significant difference in their lives. Now, let's move on to the key findings from our qualitative research. First, let's go over the data, attributes, and the sources. One-on-one in-depth interviews were conducted with new immigrant women and volunteers. Focus group discussions include new immigrants and social workers. These different perspectives provide a comprehensive understanding of the research findings. Here was the basic information of the participants in one-on-one in-depth interviews. Let me explain the symbols. D stands for divorced. M stands for married. W stands for widowed. This helps categorize their marital status for better analysis. This table shows the basic information of the participants in the focus group discussions. 3 social workers from the care center also participate in the focus group discussions. The most senior social work supervisor has been working here for 10 years. From the focus group discussion, we found that their top needs are learning and empowerment, connection and interaction, building social networks, and accessing a friendly and supportive space. These elements are essential in creating a meaningful and supportive environment for them. Under the learning and empowerment category, they not only want to gain knowledge and skills, but also hope to develop self-awareness, survival skills, organizational and communication skills, stress management, and relationship building skills. These abilities help them navigate daily life more effectively and foster personal growth. Under the second category, connection and interaction, they strongly desire a support network, feeling connected and supported, peer companionship, building friendships with others in similar situations. Interpersonal communication, improving social skills and confidence. Cultural exchange, learning and share different cultures. Broader life experiences, exploring new activities and opportunities. Emotional release, finding a safe space to express and process emotions. These aspects are crucial for fostering a sense of belonging and social integration. For the last category, they hope the center can become a truly friendly and welcoming space where they can relax and unwind, a place to de-stress and feel at ease, enjoying beauty and aesthetics, engaging in activities that bring joy and exploration, strengthening social connections, helping them build meaningful relationships, assimilate into Taiwanese society, supporting their adaptation and a sense of belonging. Community care centers serve as a bridge between Taiwanese society and new immigrants. By fostering community build and promoting mutual participation, these centers create a supportive space where new immigrants feel connected, empowered, and included. The YWCA has continuously organized various meaningful activities at the center to welcome and meet the needs of new immigrants. Creating such a space will not only provide comfort but also empower them to engage more fully in their communities. Thank you.
Well, thank you for Rachel's sharing. In mid-February, one of our service centers hosted a homecoming party as part of the Chinese New Year celebration. Many marriage migrants and their families participated in the event, and I could really sense they feel sense of belonging to the service centers. So we have big thank you to all the social workers who provided continuous and heartfelt support to the marriage migrants. Okay, now before we open the Q&A session to the audiences, let's get back to the topic of job satisfaction. There's one phenomenon mentioned by the professors. For the Southeast Asian marriage migrants, the longer they stay in Taiwan, they have better life satisfaction. But on the other hand, the longer they stay in Taiwan, they have lower job satisfaction. I think this is very important phenomenon for the government to pay more attention on. And we also talk about education. So higher education secured by the marriage migrants do not necessarily promise a better job or higher pay. From the marriage migrants participating in the interview, I noticed that 3 of them, they study and obtained master degrees in Taiwan. So if they can get master degrees in Taiwan, so I assume their Chinese language proficiency is a very good degree, both like orally or written or writing skills. So according to your observations, what did they face any difficulties when they search for a job, or are they satisfied with the jobs they currently have? So we have Professor Liu Meijing coming up to share us with her understanding about the situation.
Okay, back to the, okay. First of all, I would like to express my gratitude to YWCA Taiwan because for organizing this panel so that we can have the chance to share our research finding with you all. Okay, back to the question that just raised by Vice.
Jay. Okay,
Okay,
Jay.
Jay. I'm sorry. Even though they have education, for example, they have the master's degree, even they have the PhD, it doesn't help much. Mainly because even though they can write, they can read it, but once they speak, people will notice that they are from the East, Southeast Asian countries. And however, that's sad to say that Taiwan, we have to admit that in Taiwan, still a lot of people hold negative attitude, or they have some discriminatory attitude toward those marriage migrants. So even though they have education, but in the end, they still have job in the lower end of the labor market. So that's something that we have to face, to address these problems. Yes, and back to your first question, which is
Opposite direction.
yeah, the opposite.
Life satisfaction, job satisfaction.
The longer they stay in Taiwan, they have better life satisfaction. That mainly because they get used to a lot of. They have better language ability. They have a good command of the language, and then they have better access to information, and they have they set up they establish their own social network. So the conditions for them to live in Taiwan get better, so that they have better life satisfaction. But education doesn't help. Or I should say that the longer they stay in Taiwan, the satisfaction,
Job
job satisfaction doesn't become better. Mainly because the longer they stay in Taiwan or in the labor market, employment discrimination is still there, right? And people doesn't the friendliness in the job market doesn't change much. Yeah. So and also is the longer they stay in Taiwan, their expectation toward the job, for example, the salary, the promotion, or the fringe benefits is higher, but that doesn't come. Yeah, that's why the longer they stay in Taiwan, their job satisfaction doesn't increase. That's my observation. Yeah, I don't know whether Professor Xu will
Have
say
anything to
something?
add on?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I totally agree with Professor Liu's perspective and ideas, but I would like to add some more to her ideas. For the question about the marriage migrants' education, I think education is very important for everyone, but for the migrant people, it's another story. I remember in the in-depth interview, one of my interviewees, the married migrant who earned the master degree in Taiwan, and she said actually she learned a lot from the education in Taiwan, but this education level doesn't help her very much. Because one of the reason is her husband, their family income is quite good. So she doesn't have any difficulties with their family situation. So she doesn't need to work very hard to help her family. And another reason is also, I would like to add to Professor Liu's idea. It doesn't really help a lot because her accent, and people can learn, okay, you come from Southeast Asian countries. So I think the social cultural environment is still very important for those women's adaptation to Taiwan. Go to the next question is about the longer they stay in Taiwan and
we suppose they can adapt better, but it seems maybe compared to 20 years ago, and now it's much better. But we still have more opportunity, and we still need to, we have to spend some more time to improve this. Because remember my presentation, the factors affecting those women's work environment or work satisfaction include different parts, the individual and the work and the total social environment. So even though my individual factor improved, but the work environment and the social culture haven't changed a lot, especially the general attitudes of Taiwanese people toward those women. It's very important. Yeah, so that's my ideas. I would like to add to the two questions. And yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your additional comments. Okay, so we all know that it doesn't have to be in Taiwan. Okay, so in general, first generation immigrants often make significant sacrifices, placing their hopes on the next generation and expecting their children to have a better life. Okay, so I think many of the marriage migrants in Taiwan, they realize that there are a lot of obstacles. Maybe they won't be able to resolve those obstacles, those issues in their lifetime. So they have big hope on their children. So from your interview, many immigrants also mentioned about that they feel happy if their children perform well at school. Okay, so but Professor Liu Meijun also mentioned earlier that the European social survey suggests the life satisfaction experience of the second generation remains the same as that of the first generation due to discrimination. So I'm just thinking for the second generation, because they went to school in Taiwan, so they wouldn't have the accent. Okay, so they have our own accent. So in that situation, when they go to the workplace, people might not realize their background. Maybe they don't know. I thought people would not know they are children of the marriage migrants. So what's your observation in Taiwan for the well-being of the next generation?
I think this is a good question. But yeah, you mentioned it right. The second generation, because they was born here and they raised up here, so their language ability is just not different from the rest of the population. That's why we also observe that some of the second generation of the migrants, they really perform well. Some of them even go to, they attend university, and then they have the master's degree, and even they attend the PhD. However, that if they have, in order to have this kind of achievements, they have to have the support from they're very young. But we also noticed that in a lot of immigrant families, especially in the early times, those families that they marry, they go out and then marry the woman from the especially Southeast Asian countries. The family situation is not so good, right? And so when they establish a new family in Taiwan, a lot of condition is not so good, and also the Taiwanese people do hold negative attitude toward the immigrant families, and so if the children get exposed to the negative environment for a long time, that will hurt their chance to develop, so that. Some of them, if they have a big support from the family, then they can develop very well and then they can achieve very good education degree. But if not, then most of the second generation from the immigrant family, I should say, is not so good so far. So far, so it depends on how our country treat the migrant family, or what we call immigrants. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. So it sounds like there's still a long way to go for us to help the marriage migrants to have a better life in Taiwan. So now let's open the Q&A session to our audiences. Does anyone have any question to ask or any comment would like to share with us? Anyone raise your hand? Okay. 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 Hello, thank you.
Yeah, I have one question I want to ask. Do you have a survey? What kind of work for the those immigrant workers when they go to work, their pay will be higher, or the less they have a better job environment? Do you have the survey? What kind of job will be better? Then you can help those new immigrants. This job is have more chance or have more pay.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so I know a lot of marriage migrants, they work in the hospitality sector or working a factory, taking the lower level jobs. But I think with their language level improved or longer stay in Taiwan, they might find better job opportunities. So does any professor want to comment on like what areas could be direction to go or what have been changed? Okay, there's a side conversation. So what I'm hearing is that now because the government has a policy to encourage industries to go to the south, invest to have investment in the Southeast Asian countries. So there is a higher demand for interpreter. Okay, for to either translation or to be an interpreter in the meetings for Southeast Asian language. But I would assume, yes, there is a demand, but the demand might not be as high as what we hope for, at least for the moment. Am I correct? Yes. Okay, that's the case. But yeah, but at least there is a need for that segment. Okay.
Okay.
Any other? Yeah. So
add one more point.
Okay. Professor Liu Meijing has one more point to share.
Some of the marriage migrants, they are excellent. They will establish their own business. And we noticed that for those marriage migrants, they do perform well. And they have, because they have their own business. Yeah, that's what I saw. But if they go to the employment, that means that they find a job and then they are hired by someone. Normally, on average, this kind of a situation, it doesn't good. Yeah, that's what my observation. Back to the translator, just like the coordinator said that even though the need for the translator is high, but for individual marriage migrants, they can hardly find a job with the translating for the. There's not much full-time translating jobs, so they can only translate for 1 hour, 2 hours, and that doesn't help much in terms of the wages. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, any other question?
Yes.
That you might have? Okay. So, okay. Chunfeng 老师, yeah, you have the mic. Dr. Chunfeng, you have the microphone.
Okay, thank you. I just want to say something. I really appreciate this speaker to share the story, to share the research, to share the survey about the immigrants family and the new, our new sister live in Taiwan. This is a situation. So for in our daily life, we have no chance to reach those group of people. But this section give us a very important information to see whole picture of that our new sister in Taiwan. I just want to say appreciate. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chen Feng. Okay, so our session will end in 3 minutes. So if there's no other questions, I would like to conclude our session today. The professors gave a list of recommendations for the government as a result of this study. So I'm not going to detail those recommendations, but what I want to share with you is that give me 1 second. Okay. Each year, the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, or OECD, they published an International Migration Outlook report. In recent years, there has been an increased focus on female immigrants, highlighting that past immigration policies have been gender blind, placing female immigrants in double disadvantage situation. So one is they are immigrant and they are female. Okay, so the report particularly calls on countries to assist female immigrants in order to empower them and in order to integrate them into the job market through the better immigration policies. So we are not alone, and many countries it's a global issue. So many countries, we will work together to create a better environment for the emerging migrants. So that's what I have today. And thank you for joining us today. And thank you for the project team to carry out such a great results for all of us, not only for the government. Okay, thank you. Bye. See you next year.